Hey everyone, and welcome to another round of questions and answers with Mamas Uncut, where you send us your questions about motherhood, parenting, relationships, and we give you the best advice possible. And don't worry, all of the questions you send in always remain anonymous. Again, we're welcoming back Lisa and Mindy. Hey guys.
Hello.
Hello, everyone.
Ready to answer some more questions?
As always.
All right.
Bring it on.
My boyfriend and I have different parenting views. I need advice. I am 25 weeks pregnant, and my boyfriend and I have different views on how we are going to parent our baby. He told me that when the baby is crying, to leave him be and wait until he stops crying so he understands independence and patience. He doesn't want our child to be spoiled, but I am the complete opposite. I think newborns should be constantly cuddled and held, and I don't know what to do at this point. I love him, but I already love our baby more.
Ooh, that was a line at the end there.
Amen, sister. I totally agree with that last statement.
Oh my goodness. So
definitely always love the kids more.
Jeez. Ooh, that was heavy at the end there. I think that I understand where she's coming from. My husband and I also have different ideas of when it comes to parenting, but I think that's the hard thing of being with someone and having a partner is that you come from different circumstances, you believe and think different things, and working on to find the common ground and maybe some education is in line here or called for, because that the opposite is actually true with babies. You're supposed to love and be in bodily contact with them. They're supposed to feel soothed and calm. They don't understand or know what throwing a tantrum is when they're a baby. They don't understand. That's not the time to discipline a child by not picking them up and withholding affection. So I think that's where education comes in line here, because that could have been the way he was raised and taught to parent. I mean, I don't necessarily say he's a bad person for thinking that. I think it's kind of an old thought on parenting. But snuggle that baby. Snuggle the baby. And I think the time for discipline and rules and boundaries when they're children starts to hit when they're like around 18 months, 2 years old. I think that's the time when they start to understand pushing the limits and needing a parent to bring them back and say, no, this is the rule in our house, and giving them consequences when they make bad choices, and trying to parent them that way, but not a baby. Just the actual topic at hand. But the real thing that needs to happen is they need to find common ground and figure out how they're going to parent the baby, because when the baby comes, it's going to be really stressful and it'll be really hard to make good decisions at that time. So I think having a game plan beforehand is of utmost importance.
So I would take a slightly different tact. So as a first-time parent, which it sounds like this couple is, you don't necessarily know what you're getting into.
Oh yeah,
I bet you dollars to donuts that baby comes out and that dad melts like butter, and this is a non-issue. Right? Like I would love to be a fly on the wall watching that dad listening to a baby scream and tuning it out for 3 hours, because having tried to do all those things, even with toddlers and whatever, like at some point you just crack. And especially when you've got a newborn. I mean, there's just, I think this dad thinks that it's going to go a certain way, and then he's going to find out that everything he thought was that he was going to do, that was right, whatever, gets thrown out the window, and kind of, ad-libs it a little better, or is much more pragmatic in the situation. Because nobody can sit and listen to a baby cry incessantly for more than 10 minutes before they lose their mind.
You make a valid point. Like, you can have all of the plans in the world, and most of the time those plans aren't going to plan out the way that you want them to. So yeah, I think it would be a bit of like hasty to just like end the relationship because you don't agree on this one thing. I think it's just like, it's going to help you as parents too. Like, just work through this, and then you'll learn how to work through certain situations. So, you know, as you continue this relationship and raise this child, you know how you guys work together. I think it's a good learning moment for the two of them. But yeah, I think it's silly when people like make plans like this, because odds are it's not going to pan out.
True. I mean, that's true. What Lisa says is totally valid, because the only thing that's constant, and they say in life, is change, but in parenting it's change, and you have to constantly adjust and fluctuate, and you think you're going to do something and then they don't respond well to that. And I think it's more of a mindset, like a mindset of like, we're going to figure this out together, and this is, you know, what's going to happen. And conversely, when the baby gets here too, the mom might think she'll pick up the baby anytime it makes a sound, but she might be going insane and have to leave the baby for a minute for her own sanity to cry. I know I did that in their crib when they were safe. I had to set babies down when they were crying incessantly and give myself a mental break for a minute.
Totally.
And yeah, so I mean, I think that there's a lot of growth that's going to happen, but they need to work out how they're going to do that together. So I think that that's a great point.
Yeah. And don't forget to send in more of your questions. Bye, guys.